everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you naughty thing!
Clyde!
I just wanted to...
Since all is absolutely wonderful. And firmly at the helm. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's they're going to make him the Lord of Dalimil. Because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalimil, dear child. And the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
We'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be, until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between a lord and a man?
That's easy. One of them swings a sword, the other falls.
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalimil.
Ah, see.
I thought you'd have returned.
I did. I've developed something of a fondness for it, having worked so hard to see it saved from a sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits.
Then you've come at just the right time. There are more camps in the vicinity than but we must strike together.
All right.
There's one upriver.
Leave it with me.
Let's go.
Faster!
That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off!
I'd better let Vic.
Sid. Ah, I see the...
No, but...
No.
What is it?
The whole town's in up. They're saying that Lubor...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. Some of the children spotted and when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic. And without a crit.
But that's not...
It is, if he had still. Oh,
Fuck.
I don't know where we...
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for well, it was bad.
We're sorry, Lubor.
But we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing. All lies, I'll wager. Just
Once people make up their minds, we need to do something. And quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them...
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmec born and bred. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and they know that Lord...
I'll do what I... Lubor, I can't promise.
And that...
why are you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
You all along that he... Forgive me for disturbing you, but...
As have I, Lord Underhill. The rumors that he's a bearer.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what if his wares? In this at least he's done the town a service.
Leniency? He pretended to be one of...
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied.
So what do you propose? Will you try?
Perhaps. And they will thank you not to get him.
The townsfolk have made their minds up.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refuse to get...
You never know. Once their anger is cool...
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us.
We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones, it is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
I would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Your reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
What's happened? The guards at the gate are right on panic.
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
El? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randala and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randala, then. I'd better not keep Eloise waiting. I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
Time to fight. You deserve a rest. I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the Consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more, and he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. They deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming. Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me. creatures have already turned. Can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy. That's better. Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here. I
think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore! Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Elle. Theodore. Take care of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye, Elle.
No! Theo! Theo!
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place. Against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer. In more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time. How much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken, and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night, and the choice I made, and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. So I'll carry on, bringing smiles to people's faces, just like we always have. And to Theo's, wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together, then. For Theodore.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
How was she? The Enterprise?
Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully.
I'll fit him to the smelter right away. tell her, Mom!
She's a beauty.
You saved my beacon again, Sid. And I ain't about to let you...
It's fine, really.
Oh, don't say that.
You could just buy me a...
How about that clasp? It looks a bit stiff. And I reckon I know it's a metal.
Stretchy metal.
That is the spirit. You'll love it. So?
Thank you.
Shh. And I wanted to... Can't think of any right now. Maybe one day.
Well, hardly...
How are you doing? Quick look. Think you can help? Clive! You watch yourself out there, all right?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. You earned this. All yours. You earned this. Here you are. All yours. Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
I'll still say it were a compliment. Ah, Clive, please tell me you've come to take our young...
I'm not here for Mid.
Then why not ask Molly if you can look...
As soon as the Enterprise is ready, and we're going to need a safe place to land.
Preferably one that won't see my ship blown to shit and splinters. If it were that easy, do you think Waloed would have Very little is known. We have the good King Barnabas to thank for that. Waloed's borders have been closed to... If there is anywhere safe to land...
Then tell us what we will find. I'm sure you know better than we do.
But no splinters! All right. But interrupt me, and it's over. Understood? Barnabas Tham. The one they call the Last King. Understand him, and you will understand the Kingdom of Waloed. Barnabas was only a boy when he arrived from beyond the southern seas, and barely a man before he united the ragged tribes of Ash. And having unleashed them upon the formidable Veldamark, he set his throne upon the ancient kingdom's ruins. The victory sent shockwaves around Valisthea, tales of Odin's might spreading through every court, parlor, and drinking hole in the realm. Note that this was in the year 843, and that the king still sits upon his throne some 40 years later, quite untouched by time. Waloed's recent inaction left many wondering if Odin had lost his appetite for war. And yet here we are. The Einherjar was committed to the fray, a bold declaration of intent. Orcs swarm around Drake's Fang, and throngs of Akashic haunt Canvas streets. Though how precisely the havoc they wreak serves Waloed remains unclear. Regardless, if the order to attack truly came from King Barnabas, then one thing is certain. Waloed has achieved the impossible, and made bedfellows of beastmen and the ether-addled alike. All of which is a roundabout way of saying that you will be in unknown territory when you set foot on Ash. Much of the continent has already been lost to the Blight, and what few ports remain will be fiercely guarded. And that is to say naught of its natural defenses. Offshore currents will cast an ill-equipped ship out to sea one moment, and dash it against the rocks the next. But then the Enterprise is anything but ill-equipped. And Mid has made land there before. Now, if only there was of the Shadow Coast, and where a daring gentleman might put ashore. You see, Clive, you had the answer all along.
Do you think you can get us back to that beach, Mid?
Picked you up from it, didn't I? Not that it were easy. The currents were a right bastard. But then, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth doing, would it?
Well said. Thank you, Lady Vivian.
If a few morsels of common knowledge and a sprinkling of tavern talk are worthy of your thanks, I wonder what genuine intelligence might earn me.
Probably more visits. Mid, I need everyone in the ale hall now. I'll fetch Joshua from the shelves.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Clive.
What's this?
A chest of all the men. Seeing as you're so reluctant to come to...
I'm sure it will be entire.
And work, Rodri. I'll take that particular... Besides...
Who indeed?
Please, your grace. Ah, my lord Marquis.
Yote, is anything the matter? You seem troubled.
My lord, yes. It's your brother, though he does his best to hide it.
I had feared as much.
There are certain elixirs which can ease the... But his grace's case is severe. So I consulted with Talia and certain of my comrades, and thankfully a recipe was found. And our supplies, unless we can secure more soon. My lord, I know that I have no right to make demand.
For Joshua? So?
A rare herb. It grows only where the ether is densest. We discovered a patch near the Act. The search continues for a new...
So it's only that you...
Well, yes, but...
Then I shall go.
But...
You've yet to find another source, correct? Besides...
Well, Stonerwort is easily identified. I shall remain here. Stew's awfully thin these days.
What do you expect?